What's going on, guys, and welcome back. Wanted to take you guys through a couple of tips that I've learned as I've been riding motorcycles, a couple of safety tips that have really helped me. And so if you're a beginner, this video would be great for you. If you're not a beginner, stick around and see if you are smarter than a beginner. Let's get after it. So, of course, one of the many things, make sure you're keeping plenty of distance. I'm actually going to get a little bit closer because I want to show you guys something here. One thing I will, of course, and this is another reason why you want to give plenty of distance, because not expecting this. But here's what I'm going to do. This is great, actually. Give a little bit of space. Now, there's not really much room over there, but if I needed to, checking behind me, nobody's back there. I'm staying off to the left so that the oncoming traffic can actually see me. So if for whatever reason someone comes up, there's a guy coming up behind me, he's stopping okay. I could always get out over there, but I'm staying to the left so that oncoming traffic can see me. If I'm over here in this pocket over here, you know, you can see how much vision I just lost, and other people that are driving over there are losing that vision as well. So you don't want to ride in this pocket off to the right, especially because in this road I don't have any shoulder. It's not going to help me riding over there.
All right, so sorry guys, been having some trouble with my GoPro lately, and the audio just went terrible here with a lot of pops and cracks. Anyways, I'm just continuing talking about kind of the benefits of making sure you're visible by people. You don't want to stay in the pocket too far over to the right, and you want to give plenty of distance. What I'm pointing at here is just saying, you know, if somebody were to turn left, say there was a road here on my right that someone wanted to turn left into, coming the opposite direction, I want to make sure they can see me so that they're not actually going to run into me, because I've seen that happen before, actually, and it was a crazy accident with a bicyclist right in front of me on my motorcycle back when I had the Tiger, and it was so crazy. So I'm always very, very vigilant of that now. I want to make sure that the oncoming traffic sees me, and that's also a big player into why I have auxiliary lights on the bike and I run them day and night, because I want people to see me. Having said that, I actually normally try to stay to the left, and then as oncoming traffic comes, I kind of scoot over just a little bit more to the center, just because I do want to give plenty of space for other people coming the other direction. I don't want to be right on that line, because if for whatever reason they're not paying attention and they come over a little bit into the lane, I also want to be clear of that as well and give them plenty of space.
All right, so I don't want to talk about gear too much, but I think it's really important to note that you want to make sure that you've got gear. Like, if you, for instance, I do a lot of night riding because I ride every day. Like, I commute to work, even though my office is at home, but any driving I'm going to do during the day, or if I am going into the office, I always make sure that I've got, you know, my gear. Like, you can see, I'm not wearing all black gear. A lot of people are worried about that. Of course, got black gloves on, black pants, but with my jacket, you know, I've got a light colored jacket. If you can get something with reflectors on it, that's even better, so that cars can see you in the dark as well. Also, my helmet, if you've seen other videos on the XT4, it is all white, and I got an all white helmet specifically for that reason of, like, I want people to be able to see me. I don't want that to be an issue. So make sure you're visible. Make sure you get gear that's actually going to help you. If you are a weekend warrior and you're able just to ride when the weather's nice and you don't ever get caught out at night, and look, I go out all the time with no intentions of coming home after dark, and guess what? I end up coming home after dark. Even when I was a weekend warrior and I had, you know, multiple vehicles and a motorcycle, only rode on the weekends basically, or when the weather was perfect. And sometimes you end up coming home late at night anyways, you know, something happens, or you end up riding the rain. Just be ready for all weather conditions.
Most people have a really big issue, and that's that they grab on too much with the handlebars. They basically use the handlebars as their grip on the bike, which is not how it should be. Your handlebars are your controls, and if you don't grip with your knees, you're actually not really feeling the feedback from the handlebars that you should be feeling. You know, you can't really force the handlebars to do something without messing with, you know, the ergonomics of the actual bike. So you should be actually gripping with your knees and letting your core do the work and really hang onto the bike. I guarantee you, if you do this, you will experience a completely different style of riding. Grip with your knees, keep your grip on the handlebars very light, and it'll work much better for you.
Beginners are going to feel a little bit of head shake, and what their first reaction is going to be to fight it. And you know, like, your wheel kind of has this gyro effect, so even if you lean like this, if you kind of just let it do its thing, it'll come back to a neutral position. So what you actually want to do is, you know, not try and fight the front wheel. If you've got any kind of head shake, you know, just kind of lightly hold onto the handlebars, grip the bike, try and get to a neutral position and ride it out. Slowly let off the throttle. Don't let off the throttle super fast, because that's not going to help you either. Basically what a lot of people do is, if you try and hold onto the handlebars when you've got a bad head shake on the bike, what it'll do is it'll actually, your bike will work as a tuning fork, and you'll be hanging on really heavy to the front handlebars, and instead of that shake going away, you're actually transferring that shake to the back wheel, and then you get this squiggly effect which causes you to crash. So be really careful with that. You know, if you have head shake, kind of let off the throttle easily, real easily. You know, try and control it as best you can, grip with your knees, and hang on to the handlebars lightly, and just let it float back to a neutral position. Most of the time that will fix it. So something like this, I might go around these guys. Got a little pocket right here. There's not really much space in front of that guy, and I saw the light was changing, so just kind of sit right here. If you're in a country where splitting lanes or going around traffic like that is not legal, okay, that's not for you. But here in Portugal it is legal, and we do it quite often. I'm gonna do whatever I can to stay safe on my bike, and if I can get around some traffic, sometimes it's just more convenient, you know, just get around some of these people.
So this is actually a really good example of being behind a car. You can see the car or van in front of me doesn't even have rear windows. So some people think it's a great idea just to tailgate these cars, or, you know, let them know they want to get around them. But honestly, it's not doing anything. It's really unsafe. This guy's not going to see me if I'm right up behind him, because he's only got side mirrors. And then that puts me in a pocket again, like we talked about earlier, where other traffic can't see me. You're about to see even a little car is going to pop up here on the right. Perfect. So yeah, you can see it right here. There's a guy. I actually moved over right a little bit for this because I wanted him on the right to see me. Again, I didn't want to be in a pocket on the left. So I just moved over a little bit until I saw him kind of recognize I was there. But giving that extra space is super important so that cars aren't turning in front of you. I actually saw a horrible accident where a car turned in front of a bicycle. I was behind on my motorcycle, and it could have been me. The guy almost died. I thought he was dying, actually. He flew through the air about 20 feet, and it was really, really crazy. Never seen so much blood in my life. But yeah, it was intense. So that's why I'm super big on making sure that you keep distance, watch those cars that want to turn in front of you, because that is just a disaster waiting to happen.
All right, so just got home. I don't know if you can tell, but it is not that bad. It's not raining as bad as it was, but man, it was just pouring rain, and on the highway I was losing traction a bunch, man. Like, thankfully I've got rain mode on this thing. I don't know if you guys can tell how absolutely soaked the bike is. I mean, just everything completely soaked. But just another couple riding tips that I thought were really helpful, that I was thinking about while I was riding, is when you're riding in the rain, especially, I mean, you always want to keep distance between the cars, but when you're riding in the rain especially, man, like, take the distance you normally would give and like triple it. You know, give a ton of space, not just for your stopping distance in front, but also for the people that are behind you, because as people are coming behind you, you know, maybe they're going too fast and they don't have time to stop. A lot of people do a lot of engine braking, period, just all the time. I engine brake and then, you know, use my brakes as I start getting there. But some people can't tell in relation to you that you're actually slowing down. So while you're using engine brake, just give like 1% braking power, even if you're engine braking, just so that your rear light comes on, so people know that you're slowing down, because that's a good gauge for them. Like, okay, things are slowing down in front of me. Because even in cars, sometimes people, unless someone's brake lights are on, they can't tell that they're actually slowing down. So that's another great tip for you guys. That's just something I've learned over the years, especially riding in the rain. I don't like to ride in the rain, but I do ride almost every day, and so you're bound to get caught out in the rain. This morning it was sunny, and now it's absolutely disgusting and super rainy, and man, I was losing traction like over and over again on the way home. But I love this bike. It really, really makes you feel confident in any weather condition. So, all right, let's see what's next.
So a last couple of things here. Number one, white is ice. That's always something good. You know, all this phosphorus paint that they use on the roads. If it gets a little bit wet, or you're riding in the morning with the morning dew and it gets on these things, even when it's dry, I find that if I'm in a corner and I'm turning through some of this stuff or whatever, even these zebra stripes we're passing right now, you know, that stuff is super slippery. So try not to turn on it. Try to stay off of it. Even watch on highways. You'll have like arrows in the middle of the road showing you what way to go. Those are super slippery. So be very careful. Remember, white is ice. Another thing, I was talking to a motorcycle cop in the US and just asking for some tips. And he basically told me one thing that they all do as motorcycle cops is they ride 5 miles an hour faster than the flow of traffic. Not than the speed limit, than the flow of traffic. Okay, that's coming from a cop. And basically, he said it's better to worry about what's in front of you than what's in front and behind you. And if you're just kind of going with the flow of traffic, you've got to worry about what's behind you, coming up behind you, because people are always going faster, and as well what's in front of you. So he said, I'd rather just worry about what's in front of me and go a little bit faster. It's much safer for me. So that's actually a really good piece of wisdom that I try and use when I'm riding. Unless I'm on a 2-lane road like this, it's kind of hard to do that. But when you're on the highway or doing any kind of faster riding, that's always my preferred way of riding, is just going a little bit faster. And you can see this numpty was sitting just on a curve. Over here in Europe, you have to really look out for that. Like, people just throw on their flashers and just sit in random spots. They don't even try and get off somewhere safe. So really watch that if you're going to ride over here in Europe. People will literally just put on their blinkers, their hazard lights, and just sit anywhere in the road, in roundabouts, in corners, whatever. So you just really have to be careful for that. Another great rule to think about when you're going through corners is always assume that there is someone on the other side doing the same thing as you. So if you've got someone coming around that corner and they are, you think, oh, I'm just going to go a little bit fast, lean a little bit hard, and maybe I'll go into the left lane just a little bit, but I'm betting there's not going to be any cars. Well, just assume there's another motorcyclist doing the exact same thing, coming the opposite direction. That's a good rule of thumb that's going to keep you safe and make you feel like, okay, if I can't hit this right, I'm not going to go in the other lane, because if somebody else is doing the same thing, it could be disastrous. You both collide. That's not cool. So just really be careful and always think of what could be coming the opposite direction as well.